For Machete Kills, I decided to go ahead and go really big and adventurous with it. If the first movie was almost like our First Blood, then this needed to be First Blood Part 2, Rambo. This needed to be him on a mission. This needed to be Machete hired by the U.S. government to go on a mission that they couldn't solve. That was the original idea I'd always had for the character, was to have him be hired by the U.S. to go do a job nobody in the U.S. wanted to do. And he would be a real fish out of water and a real, out of his element kind of character. And he would use his inventiveness and his sort of Mexican MacGyver quality to figure his way out of any situation. So I wanted to put him in that, but make it almost on a scale of a James Bond movie, like a Thunderball or something like that. I wanted it to feel like we started with Machete, but then we went much bigger with the second one. The movie's the whole series is completely wacky in how it goes about. There's no rules. There's something really exciting about that. Having a film whose its DNA is to break all rules and conventions, because then you can do anything and anybody. I think that's why it attracts a lot of actors, is because anything goes, and there's nothing that an actor or performer or creator or filmmaker likes more than creative freedom. And if you have a project where that's what you have to do, that's the job, is to be completely free creatively, well, that's no job at all. That's easy. That's fun. That's play. Once we had Mel Gibson, we'd do a Mel Gibson pass. Once we had Charlie Sheen, we'd do a Charlie Sheen pass. Or Lady Gaga, then we'd do a Lady Gaga pass for her character. And that's just the natural progress of how a project works. But the script itself was based on the treatment that my brother and I came up with, and we did it all very quickly. I think it all came together in a couple of months. Having strong women in my movies, yeah. So it's always been that way, and it's never anything that it planned. It's just my worldview. I mean, I grew up with five sisters. I have my mom and my daughter is they're just so it's a real strength. I mean, it's not like the fake movie strength that they do sometimes, where you can tell it was a part for a guy and they just made it a girl, and I mean it's like a real. When you understand a woman's strength, how that can come across in a movie. I really kind of go for that, and that feeling of just seeing, seeing their true strong selves coming through, and letting that be a highlight of the movie. I mean, when we had the girls going at it, Michelle Rodriguez and Amber, the whole crew was like, "This is the movie to me. This is the movie I want to see," because they were just so amazing and so fun. And you could just make a whole movie just about them. But that's why I think I have so many women characters. It's just because, I mean, I grew up in a family of 10 kids. There was 5 boys and there were 5 girls, and they're all just as strong as the other. Danny Trejo and I just worked together so long. It's hard to imagine. It's hard to remember a time I didn't work with Danny Trejo, and which made this movie even the most surprising. Is that because I had so many other actors to deal with, I kept thinking, well, just save Danny. I know I can count on Danny. I'll shoot him at the end of the day. And Danny would get very little time. And there was something magic about that, because somehow in this movie, he didn't even need any time. I could turn to him and I would get it in one take. He would give me amazing stuff. This is the best performance he's ever given me. And he would surprise me each time he would come on. I would go, "Danny, you nailed that." He's like, "I know." He had, I guess, something about the first movie being what it was. He was either more confident, or I don't know. He was just better. And Danny was always great, but he was even better in this one. And he's so on it in every take. I mean, it's pretty amazing.